This is one of the most important questions to all of us. Are we taking the right diet to avoid possible lifestyle diseases in the future? Right? In short, am I self-destructing? To do that, we need to perform a number of tests to identify whether we have anything that we don't feel. When you walk, you don't feel. You have to do a test. Right? So what are the lifestyle diseases? The main big four are obese, cancer, heart disease, and diabetes too. But in addition to that, there are many. On top of that, we have mental diseases. That also has a link to your diet. What are they? The anxiety, stress, depression, sadness, different moods, that group of diseases. We'll go through one by one, right? First, what you need to do is getting this information, gathering all this information. The purpose is to submit an assignment. So look at the due dates given for that assignment. Then look at the number of words it should be there. Look at the mode, right? Look at the context given. There is an article to support this thing. The article, the name of the article is, you should find out the name of the article by looking at the article, right? And then the task is divided into smaller quantities. Here, this is in summary part, detailed instructions are given. Not only that, the marking criteria is also given with details. So once you compile this assessment, you should sign this document to say that you are declaring the work done is on your own and no one helped you except the teacher. So to complete the task, the breakdown of items, right, given in detail. Now, all what you should do is you need to find out what is the weakness I have. To do that, there is a document prepared. We call it Appendix 1. Open Appendix 1. Good. You were given a website. All this tests to be done with different websites. Copy this web link and open the web browser and paste it there. Press enter. You get to a page which says the body mass index. Select your gender here, male or female, and type your weight here. And type your height here. Right? It will automatically calculate your BMI as 29.9. Right? And when that happens, can you see the BMI reading? Body mass index reading is given, and there is a graph. It's interpreting this reading. The graph says 29.9, closer to 30. It's overweight, but not obese. Right? A person like that should reduce 5 kgs to come to normal weight. You could see that. Now, this reading is necessary. Once you get this reading based on the data you enter, that's your weight and your height, you need to capture the screen to say that, proof that you have done it. So from your keyboard, press print screen button. Then go back to that Word document Appendix 1. And, at the end of that web link, press enter and paste the screen, right? Once you paste the screen, you need to trim it because we don't want this surrounding information. We need to keep what is required only, right? So click on this image, and then from the menu bar, click on picture format. On the right side of the ribbon, you see the icon crop. Click on crop. Did you see when clicking crop, there were some dark black spots highlighted? When you take your mouse pointer to those areas, you can drag the screen and then reduce its size comfortably. We need only that area, right? We need this little table, right? And then we have to take off that. So after cutting it to the required size, you can right click and you can click on to format picture. And from there, you click the first icon, fill and line, click on line and put a solid line around that, maybe whatever the color you want. You can make it a little thicker. I'll put a black one, right? Up to you. And that's it. So, and you can see that this information is standing out. Align it at the center. So that would be better, right? Now look at your evidence. Your evidence says what? The data you entered given here. Your BMI, body mass index, is given here, and the interpretation is given here, right? So once you do that, you're going to the summary slide, right? Summary slide provided to you. So let me get into the summary slide. So in the summary slide, you get BMI outcome. You write down the figure you got, 29.9, and it says overweight, right? That's all you write. That's the summary of outcome. I hope it is clear, right? So repeat it. Summary of outcome is your BMI value and what the graph says, right? Let's get into the second one, the second test. What's the second test is? I'm going to get into the summary sheet, right? And going here to get into the next one. So the first one we have done is to be 29.9. Number 2, the health and fitness age result. Go to appendix 1, copy the link under number 2, on web browser, press enter, answer the series of questions, go to final screen, print the screen, come back to appendix 1, number 2, right? Paste it under number 2 and trim that information. Trim meaning unnecessary screen capture areas, delete. Put a frame around that. And tell here, right? Once you do that, tell here, what does it say in summary? You know, you have to have one little sentence or couple of words, not too much. What the summary says, right? Number 3, same thing, appendix 1, go to number 3, get the website, copy the website onto the web browser, press enter, answer the series of questions, get into the final screen and get the screen capture the screen, go back to appendix 1, under number 3, paste it, trim it, put a border, read it and get the summary and come back to this slide and write number 3. I'm not going to say this same thing 15 times. You will do the same procedure with like what you did for 1, 2, and 3 with number 4 for heart age feedback. Number 5, cardiovascular disease risk. CVD stands for cardiovascular disease. Number 6, risk of having diabetes, right? Number 7, height to waist ratio outcome. Number 8, waist to hip ratio outcome. Number 9, heart age versus actual age. Sometimes people have old heart although they are young. That shows heart is not strong enough although person is young, meaning numerically lower age. Number 10, risk of having diabetes too. Now, diabetes related, there are 3 items here, 3, 6, 10. Look at the 3. Are they the same? Are they different? Number 3 is overall diabetes, all types of diabetes. But number 6 is It's just the risk, the tendency to have diabetes in general in the future. Number 10 is risk of having diabetes 2, only 2 focusing on. Look at this and see whether there is any difference between the information given, right? Number 11, outcome of cancer risk. There are 10 questions asking in this area, right? You need to, again, follow the same criteria. Answer the questions, print the final screen, bring back to appendix, paste it under number 11, trim it, put a border, read it, get the outcome in brief. It might say there is a high risk of you developing a cancer, or less risk, or you do not have one. That's what it is. Number 12, daily fiber intake. Check with this side. A lot of people have issues with daily fiber intake. It says sometimes its result is fiber intake is not enough. As a result, you experience constipation, okay, irritable bowels kind of diseases. Number 13, your daily nutrition requirements. And number 14, daily energy needs. And finally, one of the most important area, the mind, the characters related to the mind. That's the stress, the anxiety, the depression, the sadness. Once you get all these results, what you need to do next is, right, put plus for the areas that you really don't have an issue, and it is exactly, the website says you have no issues, well done, right? Put plus, plus, plus. Plus meaning no problem. But put a negative mark where there are, concerns. Right? And then you look at what are the areas that I haven't done well. And based on that negative areas, let's assume one example, fiber intake. It's not enough. Then you need to come up with a hypothesis and say, okay, fiber intake is negative, and this is supported by these 5, 6, and other data. So therefore, I can make a hypothesis. If I increase fiber intake, okay, would increasing fiber intake in my diet would make me reduce constipation? That's the question. You don't know, right? And then what you do is, from the following day, in your diet, you are getting little more fiber than you did usual. So how do you measure the body change? You need to check what time your bowels opening, passing stools. And you also need to record the shape of stools. This is one whole lesson. Are the stools hard, and are they kind of rods, right? And how many times? So that those readings after 4 weeks will give you a better idea of your how your body respond to the fiber intake, right? So that's right. The first question, you don't know. So you are hypothesizing, guessing maybe, and then you are working it out by designing an experiment. And you are collecting results within 4 weeks, right? And then you are going through that results and analyzing, discussing, evaluating, right? To make decisions finally. Has it made a difference in your body? That's what you do here in this investigation. An extended response, meaning you can present it in the form of a write-up, or there are different other methods, presentations. But whatever the presentation, you have to go through all the sections, hypothesizing, then planning thing, and then assessing risk, time management, then finally carrying out, collecting data, analyzing data, then discussing data, evaluating data, and finally you are concluding. But you need to make recommendations for people of that age, similar age. That's a recommendation of what you found. So that's what all about it, right? And it is not difficult. So the hypothesis should come to me by Monday, next Monday, 29th. And you will be starting this from 30th, because to catch up with the remaining time. So a couple of questions need to answer. Oops, deadlines, those are concerns. Right? Have fun.